Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the June 8th, 2020 Common Council meeting. I do not have any submissions to be read during public session. Any submission we received were basic questions about how to contact City Hall and things like that. No real issue or topic-based questions, concerns, or comments. So having said that, do counselors, any constituents reach out to any counselors to have something read during public session?
No.
Okay. Then public session's adjourned. And with that, I will call the June 8th Common Council meeting to order. Will clerk please call the roll?
His Honor the Mayor.
Here.
Councilor McBrady.
Here.
Councilor Burridge.
Here.
Councilor Hill.
Here.
Councilor Walker.
Here.
Councilor Gosick.
Here.
Councilor Plunkett.
Here.
Councilor Cordino.
I'm here.
All present.
Thank you. Under the mayor's report, nothing new to add other than recap the announcement that HarborFest 2020 is canceled and will be scheduled for 2021. And the 4th of July Independence Day Parade is canceled. However, we will still have the fireworks July 5th. Remember, our 4th of July celebration is always that Sunday. So it's Sunday, July 5th. The fireworks will be launched at 9:45 p.m. as they always are, but instead of being launched on the pier, they will be launched from the pedestrian railroad tunnel to allow for more viewing sites throughout the city. And obviously there will be nothing at Brightbeck Park. Typically we have music, bounce houses, crafts, food vendors. There will be nothing in Brightbeck Park, so there's no reason to go there to view the fireworks. They'll be launched from the pedestrian building. City Hall reopened today. So City Hall, after being shut down for well over a month, is reopened Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. It will be closed every day from 12 to 1 for lunch. That allows all the city employees to leave for their lunch break at once, which allows for the front desk to be staffed and the offices to be staffed without traffic coming in and out and exposing our employees and the public. You must enter City Hall. A mask is required to enter. Otherwise, you will be not be served until you get a mask. And public access is only allowed in the 1st Street and 2nd Street entrances. The Oneida Street entrance remains closed. And public access is only allowed on the 1st floor where we have the desk and a lobby set up in a staff, 2 staff members to facilitate your transaction for any other city department. So that was the format just before we shut down, and that will be the format for the foreseeable future. Because of CDC restrictions, we're going to continue to have all city board meetings, committee meetings, council meetings remote for the foreseeable future. There's no reason to bring everybody back into a meeting room once again and invite the public. It's just not appropriate at this time. Plus, the other caveat to this whole thing is City Hall is about to have the renovations. The renovations are about to begin. And later this summer, the council chamber will have to be closed anyway to the public because a bulk of the work will be in the common council area to City Hall, and we wouldn't be allowed there anyway. So we'll have to play that by ear as the summer goes on. Other than that, that's all I have. Any thing to add by the members of the council under the mayor's report? Councilor Hill.
I just wanted to get on the record with an issue that was brought to me by several of my constituents, and I understand constituents of other wards as well. And it's the trimming and pruning of trees by a contractor hired by National Grid. At first glance, these trees appear to be, severely damaged, heavily pruned in a way that I can't recall ever seeing any time in the past. I did speak to a representative from National Grid. He indicated that this process takes place approximately every 5 years. And he also indicated that they use the same forestry standards in all of their service areas. And I think I would argue that using the same standards that you would use along a highway or a major transmission line is not appropriate for a neighborhood, a suburban setting, or even an urban setting. So I wanted to get on the record to say I think that National Grid needs to be more accountable to its ratepayers. Just paid a National Grid bill that had a service fee of about $7 and a delivery fee of 60 something dollars. And I would assume that that delivery fee includes maintenance around the lines and things like that. And it seems that they could take a lot more care when they're doing things like trimming in neighborhoods, especially when it's in historic neighborhoods with landmark trees, trees that are decades old. I did some research on similar trimming, similar pruning throughout the country, and a lot of municipalities have dealt with issues like this from their utility companies. And it always comes down to what they're calling this process of lateral pruning. And that's the pretty much trimming the tree all the way down to the bare structure. And the issue here, I think, is more with cost. What National Grid is doing is rather than coming in more frequently, say annually or every 2 years, they're doing it on a 5-year basis. So what that's doing is they're doing dramatic pruning that is just, it's not appropriate. And some of the municipalities I researched actually reference what are called the American National Standards Institute A300 pruning standards. And that is what arborists refer to when they determine whether someone is actually pruning in an appropriate manner. And one of the items that someone who's pruning would never do is remove more than 25% of the total tree foliage in a single year. And I think if you look at some of the photographs we've compiled through our neighborhoods, we're seeing 30, 40, 50% of total foliage being removed from some of our trees. There's also a process called senescence that trees go into as they age. And what that is, it's a period where they have a much more difficult time regenerating and regrowing. And as these companies trim such drastic amounts off our large mature trees, they're unable to recover. So they do end up becoming diseased and they can die. So I just wanted to get on the record and say, National Grid needs to do better. We do have a contact for anyone who has issues. Just reach out to your counselor. They can provide you with that information. But I feel that, saying that this is an appropriate way to handle the trees was disingenuous on the part of National Grid. And I think that we need to really let them know that our neighborhoods are worth more than saving a few dollars, trimming every 5 years, doing, really dramatic and drastic jobs. They just have to do better. Thank you.
And I've heard the same outrage myself. Was there a contact, counselor, that you had for people to, if they contact us, we agree with them. It doesn't always help when we agree, but do you have a contact with either Nelson, who's the contractor that Grid hired, or Grid for residents to call directly?
Yep, his name is Scott Saladin, and he's the forestry supervisor for National Grid. His office phone number is area code 315-452-7628, and his cell phone is area code 315-447-8148. And I think it's important that city residents know that these prunings and trimmings are not being done on behalf of the city. When some of my constituents in other parts of the city approach these tree crews, they were not told that the work was being done on behalf of National Grid. So the constituents assumed it was done on behalf of the city. So it's important that people realize we did not contract for this service, and it is National Grid.
Great. Thank you. There's some other issues with National Grid we'll save for another time, but I appreciate you looking into this issue. And I know it's happened in my neighborhood, down in the 1st Ward, the 3rd Ward, and now they're moving east. So hopefully they take a little better care and have a little more respect. However, I doubt that'll happen based on my experience. And it's really too bad there's not another utility company, because I'd be the first one in line to go with them, not just on the tree pruning issue, but just about everything else I've had to deal with this company. So, they're always eager in a hurry when something, one of their projects happens, like the 55 pipeline, for instance. Maybe we'll have their attention when they come back and need that final approval. We'll see. Any other comments from the council? Seeing none, will clerk please call resolution 153?
Approve minutes common council meeting held May 26, 2020.
Counselor Walker, Counselor McBrearty, any comments? Will clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call resolution 154?
Authorize mayor to enter into an agreement with Cobblestone Software for contract management software for use by the city clerk's office.
Counselor Hill, Counselor Walker, any comments? Clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk please call resolution 155?
Approve transfer of funds from the tourism contracted services account to the softball reserve account for the purchase and installation of light bulbs at the Legend Softball Complex.
Counselor Corradino, Counselor Plunkett, any comments? Clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk please call resolution 156?
Approve transfer of funds from the general fund contingent account to the softball reserve account for the purchase and installation of clay mix at the Legend Softball Complex.
Counselor Corradino, Counselor Burridge, any comments? Clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk please call resolution 157?
Authorize City Chamberlain to advance current funds for the Lakeside Park project.
Counselor Burridge, Counselor Walker, any comments? Clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Hill, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Thank you. Any unfinished business to come before the council? It's an easy one, all good news. Having said that, I'll look for a motion to adjourn. Counselor Hill, Counselor Gosick. Will clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Gosick.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrearty.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for tuning in.